guys, welcome back to CJ's Keto Kitchen. Tonight we are going to be making an easy casserole, and it is going to be taco stuffed pepper casserole. So come along with me and let's get started. So we have made stuffed peppers in the past. In fact, CJ used to make them before we were together. They're a very nice, economical way to stretch meat, especially. But usually they have rice or some other kind of binder that you stuff into the pepper. And you can also, need to prepare your peppers quite a bit, steam them to make them soft. So this is a nice casserole in that you don't have to do a lot of those preparatory steps. And we're going to be using less binder because this is a ketogenic recipe. This is going to go very quickly because this is a very nice, simple casserole, just the way I like it. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So for our casserole tonight, we need to preheat our oven to 375 degrees. So in a Dutch oven, I have been browning about 2 pounds of ground beef for this particular recipe. So it is already ground, and we are going to start adding some other ingredients. So you're going to need either a Dutch oven or a very large skillet so that you can place all your ingredients in there before we put it into our casserole dish. So into our skillet of browning meat, I am going to add peppers and onions because this is a stuffed pepper casserole. I have 1.5 peppers. So even though it is 3 different colors, you can use whatever you'd like. If you prefer to use green pepper, you could also use that as well. But I have 1.5 peppers, and I have just chopped them very finely. I also only have 1/8 of a chopped onion. That is definitely a secret in ketogenic cooking, is that you use the ingredients that you like, vegetables especially, even if they have a touch more carbs. You just use less and you cut them very finely. That way they go farther in your recipe. I am going to add these ingredients into our browning meat so that they can take on the flavors. And we're just going to saute this until it gets a little softened. We are not looking for fully cooking here because, of course, we are going to cook our casserole in the oven. So I am going to add one more ingredient into our saute, and that is going to be 1 cup of riced cauliflower. Now, traditionally, when you make stuffed peppers, it usually has a binder, and that binder is usually some kind of starch, generally in the form of rice. But because rice is not ketogenic, I'm going to be using riced cauliflower in this step. But I'm not going to be using a great deal. I'm only going to be using 1 cup. This is going to give us the flavor and texture of rice without adding too much because we already have 2 different types of vegetables here, so we want to try and keep our carbs low. So I'm only going to be adding about 1 cup of riced cauliflower here. So in order to give our casserole the taco stuffed pepper flavor that we are looking for, we're going to need to use some taco seasoning. And here I have my homemade taco seasoning. If you would like the recipe, that is available on our blog at CHOCZERO'S.com. And there we put in all the ingredients that you need for a carb-free taco seasoning or a low-carb taco seasoning. So I'm going to put about 2 spoonfuls, roughly about 2 tablespoons, and I'm going to sprinkle it across my casserole ingredients here. I'm also going to add about 1/4 cup of water, and that is just going to facilitate everything combining into our ingredients. And here is my 1/4 cup of water. I've simply stirred around all of my seasoning and the little bit of water that I put in there. The reason that I put just a small amount of water in here is because most of the vegetables that we are using in this recipe have a high water content. So they are going to expel a lot of their water during the cooking process. So we don't really want to add a lot of additional fluid here. Our last ingredient that we are going to put in before our cheese, when we put it in our casserole dish, is some roasted tomatoes. And you can use any kind of diced tomatoes that you would like. You could use fresh tomatoes if you want. I like the fire roasted just because they have a nice fiery flavor because they have been roasted. And you can see when you look in there that they have a bit of brown where they have actually fire roasted them or roasted them over a burner. And I like the depth of flavor that I get with this. But you can, of course, use any kind of diced tomato that you enjoy. If you would rather use salsa, you absolutely could. I have drained this because I stated before we don't want an awful lot of water content into our casserole because most of the vegetables that we are using have a high water content already. And this is a 14-ounce can, just in case you wanted to know that. So we have let our mixture saute for about 10 to 15 minutes in the Dutch oven or large skillet, whatever you're using. Now I'm going to place it in my 9 by 13 inch baking dish, and I'm going to add about 2 cups of shredded cheese. I'm going to be using a Mexican blend, but you can use whatever kind of cheese that you enjoy or that you have on hand. And I'm just going to stir that around, and then of course we are going to put it into our oven to bake. So here I have my 2 cups of cheese, and I'm going to pour it all on top, and then I'm going to stir it. And of course you could use more cheese if you liked more cheese. That's completely up to you. This dish could also benefit from other things that you might enjoy if you wanted to add cilantro or any other kind of Latin flavors, or any kind of flavors that are keeping with stuffed peppers. You definitely could. Okay, so there we have everything in our casserole dish. And I'm going to go ahead and place this in our 375-degree oven, and I'm going to bake this for about 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, I might broil the top, depending on how it looks after that. Okay. There she is, bubbly and golden and delicious. Smells very tasty. I'm excited to eat. So with all casseroles and other baked dishes, you need to let it rest for about 10 to 15 minutes before you start to serve. That just gives all the flavors a chance to meld together and also set up into serving size pieces. So I'm going to let this sit for about 15 minutes, and then I'm going to let CJ tell us what he thinks. Okay, we have got taco night right before Christmas. Feliz Navidad. And there's some sour cream. So we have taco stuffed pepper casserole.
Yeah, bro. Hi.
Hi. Would you please tell us what you think about this?
Okay. Well, you know, when you told me the title of it, I thought it was going to be a stuffed pepper with the stuff in it.
Right. And that is the benefit of this casserole, is you don't have to prepare.
No, yeah. No, I get it.
The
After you
peppers.
started explaining it, I said, oh, okay. That's really good.
Good.
That's delicious.
All right. Excellent.
That's fantastic. It's good.
Good.
You do get the stuffed pepper flavors right off the bat. And this has only been out for maybe 15 minutes. Maybe. So I think as it sets, we probably will get more of the taco.
Yes, and probably tomorrow.
Yeah, probably get more of the taco. I didn't add the sour cream just because I wanted to make sure that this was the star of it. But it tastes really good. And I was always a big fan of stuffed peppers. So.
Yes, I remember you used to make them before we were even together. So, yes, I thought this was something you would enjoy. So sometimes, with regular stuffed peppers, you have to like steam the peppers, or you have to cook it extra long, and then they can get soggy. So this is kind of like the best of both worlds without having to do so much prep.
Yeah. So it's good. It looked like it was easy to make.
Yep.
And I'm ready to eat.
All right.
I haven't really eaten all day. So.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. Bye. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us again tonight, you guys. We hope that you enjoyed this casserole and that you're having a very nice holiday season. We hope that you will consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so that you know when we upload new content. We upload twice a week, generally. On Wednesdays, we have Keto Conversations, and there we get together and talk about different keto lifestyle topics. Sometimes we have food unboxing, sometimes we talk about what we eat on this lifestyle, grocery hauls, and that kind of thing. And on Sundays is when we have our new recipes go up, and generally I have 2 sweet and 2 savory a month. And we hope that you will hit the bell so you know when that happens. We are also on social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest, and we are trying our hand at TikTok. And that is CJ's Keto Kitchen everywhere. If you need any information for this particular recipe, other recipes that we have made, we also have seasonal recipes from years previous. Those are all on our blog, and that is cjsketokitchen.com. And there we have our recipes that has printable recipes. We have our macros, nutritional information, any tips and tricks that I learned while making this, and also CJ's taste test follow-up. So definitely head over there, and that is cjsketokitchen.com. We hope that you'll come back and see us again, and we hope that you have a very happy holiday and a very Merry New Year. And until then, bye.
Let us gather round, for it's Christmas time. A merry sound and the stars alight. Let us all rejoice when it's Christmas time, and our hope again made new. In the crowded streets calling Christmas time, the ones we meet wear their warmest smile. And from far away we hear bells that chime, stating Santa won't be late. And deep in our hearts we will carry a song, heard through the ages from angels on high. In the falling snow, all the Christmas lights bring a special glow on a special night. Every child awake, for at Christmas time there is magic in